Fooly Cooly!
With a kick of the future, many kids don't need the masters. Oh yeah!
There we go.
And we are live. Okay. Hello, how's it going? Welcome to the Toonami Squad's podcast sessions. I am your host, Eric Casey, also known as eRockstar5 on Twitter.
I am JMB. I'm the founder of Toonami Squad.
I'm Sam. I'm one of the writers for Toonami Squad.
I'm Matthew, aka Phantom, and I'm one of the editors and moderators for the Toonami Squad.
And I'm Silver. I make all the thumbs, and I make sure that everything's all pretty on all the accounts.
And in this very special edition to the podcast sessions, with us is Maki Terashima, Vice President of Production IG USA. How's it going, Maki?
Hi, how are you guys?
Doing good.
Great.
Hanging in there. Okay, so we have a whole bunch of questions for you to ask you about, the whole thing with Fooly Cooly being revived, that whole thing, some stuff about your job, and yeah, thanks for coming on. We really appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. No, thanks for having me.
So, I guess I'll start off with questions from one of our members, Berserk Fury. Her first question is, for those who don't know or are unfamiliar, what is Production IG?
So Production IG is one of the biggest anime studios in Japan. We're known for producing Ghost in the Shell franchise, the Pet Labors, and the Evangelion movies, and the Kill Bill anime sequence, Clone Wars, Batman, Blood the Last Vampire, Jinro, all of those, and then more recent ones would be Attack on Titan, Kuroko's Basketball, Psycho-Pass, what else? Haikyuu, and of course, Fooly Cooly.
So basically, 70% of everything we ever love.
Yeah.
Yay! Thank you, guys.
The second question from Berserk Fury is, as Vice President of Production IG USA, what is your day-to-day duties?
Vice President of IG USA. I'm actually the only person that's working for IG USA. So I have to do, the title sounds very fancy and all that, but I do everything from going to the post office, going to the banks, making deposits, to translating documents, to reviewing and drafting legal documents, contracts, and then also raising financing and producing. So, I do everything as if I'm the owner of the company.
That's gotta be a stressful job.
It is. You guys will have to help me. I'm looking for assistance.
We'll send in our resumes. I'm available next week if you want an interview.
Okay. Yeah, it's not
interview.
like I need you guys all the time. Like once in a while, I'm like, when I'm super busy, I'm like, I need to deposit this check to the bank. Like, can somebody go? Like, would you be able to fly out of Florida and come to California? Check for me.
Well, according to Silver's profile picture, he's got the Absolution in his beck and call, so that may be able to help you a little bit.
Going in between space and Puerto Rico.
Man, that must sound like that sounds like an insane job.
It's fun, but when I'm not busy, I'm not busy, so I don't have to be working with coworkers all the time, which is a good thing. But when I have issues or when I need to talk to somebody, it's hard because I don't really have anybody around me. So I have to pretty much just decide on my own what I have to do. And if it's a wrong decision, it's my fault. If it's a right decision, it's not mine. Somebody else takes the credit for that. I'm just kidding. But but yeah, it's been like that for the past 19 years.
You've been there for 19 years?
I've been here for 19 years. Probably I've been here probably even before you guys were born.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Maybe. I don't know.
Probably me. But...
Okay.
Now you're making us feel old. Well, I was wondering, like, in your downtime, do you have like any opportunity to like check out some of the production while it's going on, being developed and stuff, in house, by any chance? Do you ever like
Yes,
go down and
I
see like
do.
some of the productions being developed?
Oh yeah, of course. Because like I am in charge of selling, some of our titles to overseas. So I do get to check them out and watch them before they become available. We call them screeners, and then they
Mhm.
do send me those screeners for me to review and evaluate, and then to figure out who I should sell them to. So yes.
Cool. Okay, cool. Berserk's third and final question is, why do you think Fooly Cooly has endured in the hearts of fans of so many, for so many years? Why is it so beloved, basically?
I just think that would be more of a question to you guys, but like I personally think that Fooly Cooly is so unique and so different from any other shows that people, no matter how many times you watch it, just like you guys said, if you watch it for the first time, it doesn't make sense whatsoever, right? But then it's so unique that it makes you want to keep watching it over and over again, and then every time you watch it you discover something new. So I think it has a very long lasting life as a show itself, and that's probably why there's still so many fans out there.
I would attest to that. I would
How many
completely
times
agree
did
with you.
you say you watched it?
I remember watching it like, I remember seeing it like 5 or 6 times before I really got it, which was my last sitting for preparation for this interview. The other times, like I was saying, like I didn't know what was going on. I mean, robots coming out of people's heads, a little crazy
That's
for
cool, right?
like a 9-year-old to see.
Yeah, but you were too young back then to appreciate it.
Yeah, probably. Well, the next batch of questions are from myself. I have 2 questions for you, and it's regarding to Fooly Cooly Season 2 and 3. And my first question is, has Fooly Cooly changed in any way from Season 1 to Season 2 and 3? Like, basically kind of like animation style in the state that it's in right now, the artistic design of it, music, or like if you can give any details, how Fooly Cooly has evolved since season 1, and if you can provide some like insight with the direction of where the show is going.
Right.
That's basically my question.
Right. That's a very, very good question, and I'm sure everybody wants to know the answer for. But
Mhm.
I honestly I can't, disclose any other information than what I've announced at Anime Expo.
Okay.
The 2 and 3, they're both 6 episodes each, and the content of it, we are currently developing it, and then we haven't been able to talk about it just yet.
Okay.
As far as music goes, I did announce at Anime Expo this year that we're using the pillows, which was the same musician that was used for Fooly Cooly 1. And
That's
that-
something I do appreciate.
yeah, everybody was looking forward to that, so we made it happen, so I'm happy about that. And then as far as like characters or story or design, artistic style, any of that is going to be a surprise.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'll definitely wait for that.
If it's anything like Fooly Cooly season 1, that's gonna be an interesting. That's gonna be interesting.
Like, we'll have like robots coming out of the other character's head or something. I mean, I don't know, and then I can't talk about it yet, but
Okay.
I'm sure it's gonna be a good surprise for all the existing Fooly Cooly fans, as well as the new people that have never seen Fooly Cooly before.
Sounds awesome. Getting kind of excited.
I know.
Wow, cool. And my final question is, how did Fooly Cooly become what it is? What was it if you can recall from all those years back from season 1, what was it conceptually at the beginning? Was it viewed as more of a parody of anime at the time, or was it more of a theme of like, or was the theme of growing up in an ordinary setting always there to begin with? Like, how did Fooly Cooly become what it was originally? Like, when you got pitched with the show, you know, what the hell was it when it began before it was what it is?
Well, it was directed by director Tsurumaki, Kazuya Tsurumaki. He has always been, you know, the assistant director to Anno, and Anno, the director of Evangelion, and then Fooly Cooly happens to be his first show as a director. So when Anno thought that Tsurumaki was ready to direct a show, he thought that Fooly Cooly would be perfect. And then what Tsurumaki did was basically whatever he wanted to do. You know, as you can see, Fooly Cooly has everything. You know, all these like little elements from like, you know, the sky blue popsicle to curry rice to robots to Rickenbacker to Vespa. All of those things are what Tsurumaki loved as a child, and then he decided to incorporate all of those into the show. And then even the music was something that he's always loved, and then he decided to use that in the show. So it's almost like a Tsurumaki's treasure box, you know. And then it miraculously worked out as a successful show.
Wow, so it's kind of like his Rosebud, like in Citizen Kane. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Man, that's fascinating. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that does it for my questions. Silver, do you wanna jump in and ask Trips and your questions?
Sure. As fans are aware of, you have a history with working with Toonami and Cartoon Network. Besides the announced season 2 and 3 of Fooly Cooly, are you or Production IG interested in partnering with Adult Swim or Cartoon Network again in the future?
Absolutely.
Shows?
Oh yes, like absolutely. I love working with them. They're one of my favorite clients. You know, they are my clients, but at the same time, some of the people that I work from Toonami are also my friends. So we've been in relationships for more than 15 years. Again, that makes me feel old again. But I think they're one of the best, you know, venues in the U.S. To introduce the new anime, because there are so many Toonami fans out there. And then we worked on IGPX, and then we're also working on this mini series with the director of Ghost in a Shell. I can't talk too much about that either, but like we're in the process of producing that, and then that's gonna go out in 2017. So yeah, besides Fooly Cooly, we're working on that, and then I'm sure there's gonna be many more shows that we'll be collaborating on. So really excited about our relationship. It's lasted for, you know, almost 2 decades. So I only hope that our relationship will get better.
We love you.
Oh God,
wanna
the
say-
teasing hurts.
In simplest of terms, keep doing what you're doing. Thank you so much.
Okay, Trip's second question, and because we're a Toonami fan site, we have to ask: where do you think Toonami will be in 5 years from now?
I think they're just going to continue to expand. I'm really excited for the fact that they did make a comeback, and you know, when we did the Toonami panel together, there are just so many supporters out there. And then, you know, everybody's been saying, like, you know, the reason that anime fans and, you know, they started watching anime is through Toonami. So I think they're just the best partner on featuring some of our anime, existing anime, new anime, just like pretty much just anime in general to the audiences that don't even know about anime. So I really hope Toonami is gonna keep growing, and then that they will contribute to our anime industry.
I'm curious. After that, I'm really curious. What was your reaction when, did you see the April Fool's joke that they pulled? Basically the thing that caused the movement to bring it back and everything. What was your reaction to that whole thing?
I was really excited. I didn't really realize it was the April Fool's joke, but then it happened. So they that was a good strategy, and I was really.
When they made the announcement that Toonami was coming back, what was your reaction, officially back?
I was really happy, and then I just knew that they're not just a licensing partner, but I knew that they are thinking of doing another co-production like the one that we did with IGPX.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was a good show, and we had a lot of fun making it. And then I had hoped that we would continue with more co-production shows like that, but then it didn't happen for a long time, and I was really saddened about that. But now, it's happening. I was like, cool, I've waited for this time for this opportunity to make more shows with them. So again, I was ecstatic when they announced that.
Yeah, we were too.
I think I was beyond ecstatic.
I know people that don't really care much about anime, but once I mentioned the word Toonami, then oh, I remember that. It was awesome. Dragon Ball Z, Gundam Wing. You just talk about it for hours if I let them.
Yeah, that night was pure insanity.
A new vocabulary, just like anime is now a new vocabulary. Toonami will be in the dictionary one of these days.
One of these days, yes.
One of these days.
Hey, I'll pay for that.
Okay, now we go to my one and only question because I couldn't think of anything else. How was the reception of Fooly Cooly in Japan compared to the US?
It wasn't as good as in the US, and but that doesn't mean that it wasn't popular, because surprisingly, all of the creators are loving that show. They respect that show so highly. They almost worship that show. If you look at it from the creators' perspective, every frame that you take from the show, you could almost make it into a poster. And I mean, the picture is that brilliant. So the animation technique is very stylized, and it's very amazing that a lot of the creators are regarding that show as almost like an example of a high quality anime. So it wasn't commercially popular amongst the Japanese fans, but when we announced the sequel to it, all the Japanese media picked it up. So I'm sure everybody, there are a lot of fans out there. It just wasn't as commercially popular as it was in the United States.
I think I'll move on to the fan questions now. Daniel Breyer, or Mega Dan X on Twitter, asks, what was the biggest challenge in reviving Fooly Cooly?
Everything. It is so hard. I mean, it is very challenging, especially because there are a lot of expectations, and then from the fans and also from the creators, and we want to make something just out of the ordinary. So we're really carefully putting in a lot of time coming up with good concept and good characters and good story. So it is a very challenging show, challenging project, but because we're spending so much time and so much energy and effort into it, I feel very confident that we will end up making a show that everybody is happy with.
Alright, so the next question I got is from Xavier Franklin. What made Production IG decide to create a new season of Fooly Cooly? He's curious because he loved the original growing
Oh,
up.
I know. Thank you. I love the original too. Um, the you know, Cartoon Network, Jason DeMarco. You guys need to bug that guy. Jason, after this Fooly Cooly sequel or prequel or anything related to Fooly Cooly, for the longest time. I mean, there are a lot of fans out there, but I think Jason is one of the biggest fans of Fooly Cooly, and also as a business partner, he's always wanted to make Fooly Cooly sequel. And we actually went to Gainax more than 10 years ago to see if they're willing to make a sequel, and then the answer was no. So we just felt like it wasn't, a possibility ever. But then when the rights happened to be available last year, I told Jason about it, and then he's like, "Well, let's get it." This is the only chance that we can plan a sequel. So he flew to Japan, and then we talked to the Production IG bought the rights to Fooly Cooly. So we had a discussion, and we just closed the deal right away before anybody took it. So that's how this sequel project started.
Wow.
So were attaining the rights were hard to get, or were they very easy?
They were hard to get. I mean, we just didn't think that the rights would be ever available, and then I think Production IG made the right decision about acquiring it.
So the next question I have is from Michael Morse. Hi guys, this is Mike, or M Morse 1017. Huh?
One thing though, Xavier mentioned something at the end, I believe, like a best regards to Sayo Kurigami. Kiriyami? Sayo Kiriyami?
That's his username.
Oh, that's his
username.
username. Oh, okay. He says best regards.
Okay, thank you.
Says hi.
Bye.
Back to Michael Morse.
Yeah. So he asks, he's a huge fan of Fooly Cooly, and his question is, how much planning goes into a typical episode of Fooly Cooly?
A lot. I mean, we are spending more than normal time in developing the show, because it's very challenging. We have to make something that's as compelling as the first Fooly Cooly. So we are spending I keep repeating myself, but we are spending a lot of time. And then usually for a TV series, it takes about 3 months per episode to produce. But then for this one, it's a direct to the OVA, so it's we're gonna be spending a lot more. We're assuming anywhere between 10 to 11 months or almost a year per episode, and there's six episodes for season 2 and 6 for season 3. So we're spending a lot of time on it just to make sure that it becomes something that we're trying to achieve, and then something that everybody is looking forward to seeing.
He finally says, thanks again, and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
And then for the last item, production, at Schumels1, are you going to produce the episodes to the length the story needs, like how the last episode of the original was a few minutes longer than average, or stick specifically to the length restrictions of Adult Swim's broadcast spots?
We have certain parameter to work within, but then we are content driven. We are more creative. We have more emphasis on the creative side. So we do have a time slot, but then whether it's going to be a minute longer, a minute shorter, really depends on the content of that episode. So yes, we do have the perimeters, but we are not going to restrict any creative part of it because of the time slot that was given by the network.
Well, that's good to hear.
Phantom or Boss, do you want to jump in and take over the next batch of questions?
From Nick and Bone. For a story so ingrained in Japanese pop culture, what story or narrative elements do you believe contribute to the appeal of Fooly Cooly in the West?
I just think that, Fooly Cooly is such a cultural show. I mean, there's a lot of elements that only the Japanese people that grew up in during that generation would understand or appreciate. But why it became so popular in the West, and even like, within the fans that didn't really grow up during those period, is everything that Tsuramaki had incorporated in there that he thought were really cool are really cool. Like, even if you don't understand what it is or where it's coming from, the whole idea of something being cool, I think is very universal. So music was cool, characters were cool, background was cool, culture was cool, story was really cool. So I think that's what resonated in the Western audiences as well. And then also the theme about, growing up, going through puberty and what it's like, to struggle with the unsure, state of mind and uncertainty in the future and all that. I think all of that is, something that people just have to struggle with, wherever you live. Like, it's not just happening in Japan, it's happening everywhere else in the world. So I think people thought that they could really identify with the characters, that were very realistic, despite the very fictitious and crazy world that they lived in. Their ideas and feeling and thoughts and everything, their lifestyle was very realistic.
Guy, aka at Senku on Twitter. For Fooly Cooly, was there any reason why you got left-handed Rickenbacker bass model 401 or Gibson Flying D, the only non-bass guitar in the series?
Yeah, like I said, like, everything that was in Fooly Cooly are something that Tsuramaki has always been fond of. So, Rickenbacker, Gibson, Vespa, all of those are something that he loved, and then he thought that it would be fun to put in a show. And then as far as like, Haruko being left-handed, Tsurumaki himself, he's a right-handed person, but he has always been fascinated by lefties. So, Haruko is a special character that he was very fond of, and then he thought that it would be cool for that character to be a lefty.
Huh.
I like lefties.
Alright,
They're the creative. Are you a lefty?
I'm a lefty. I'm a, yeah.
We like that.
No lefties are left out.
Yeah, I'm a righty.
They tend to be, because like like if you're a lefty, you're more right brain, right? So I guess like you're more creative, and then like you have like, very bizarre sense of understanding, or so that just makes you guys all unique.
Oh, you stop it! You're embarrassing us.
Alright. Next question is from Anjuk, aka Anjuk. Desu music or
That's
artist
it.
inspired Fooly Cooly seasons 2 and 3?
What inspired?
What music or artist inspired?
What
Yeah.
Well, again, like,
Fooly Cooly seasons 2 and 3?
right, the pillows that Tsurumaki ended up using for Fooly Cooly is, his personal preference, and then like he's always liked the music, and then he when he made Fooly Cooly, he wanted to use it, and then like, you guys gotta understand that normally what happens in anime, like incidental music, is like they usually use like classical music, so like using a band music for the incidentals is very rare. It was like something that nobody has ever done before, and then like he wanted to do it anyway. And then some of the music that he liked from the pillows, he approached a band and then asked if he could use it for a Fooly Cooly, and then he had like selected pieces of music from them, but they were like, oh yeah, they were very happy that they were asked, and then they offer the whole entire library for Fooly Cooly. Yeah. So it all worked out, and then like I just think the use of music in Fooly Cooly is brilliant. How we're gonna do it in Fooly Cooly 2 and 3 with the with the pillows music. Whether we're gonna use the same ones or we're gonna have them compose new ones. I can't talk about that yet, but I'm very curious and interested in knowing how they're gonna utilize their music.
Oh, I enjoy the band, honestly.
Right.
Yeah, they're amazing.
This is pertaining to the story
Mhm.
from Ben Francis or Ben Esquire on Twitter. He says, thanks for taking the time to read this. As a big fan of the original, I adored its use of empathy in dealing with problems as you grow up, particularly with characters like Nina Mori, I believe, right? Would you say that for season 2 and 3, that the characters are more or less empathetic this time around?
I think we're gonna definitely take that into consideration. I personally feel
Okay.
that one of the biggest themes in Fooly Cooly is growing up. So that was probably one of the biggest reasons it became such a great show for the Western audiences as well. So including the drama in all these crazy sci-fi environment is always interesting. But like, in order to make a show that resonates to the fans, you have to always include a good story and good drama in it. So we would definitely consider putting empathetic themes in both of those seasons. But again, like, I can't tell you at this point what it is or which characters will be going through that because it's confidential. Again, it's a surprise.
Of course, we understand.
Sure.
We have about 3 questions left. Is that all right?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, yeah. From Sean McCoy, this is also pertaining to story, at Danger High on Twitter. Thematically, the first season of Fooly Cooly seemed very complete. My biggest concern for the sequel series is this: will there be any new driving? Will there be a new driving theme, or at least one that is meaningful, meaningfully irritative of what came before? Thank you.
I highly agree with that question because we always need to have something, some strong theme, some driving theme in the show to grasp the hearts of the fans. So whether I can't tell you guys at this point what it is, but then we will definitely include something like that in there. And then another thing I wanted to let you guys know out there is that I really highly take into consideration all the questions and comments that I get from you guys, and then I'm not the one making it, but then like I have, I talk to the production all the time. So if there's anything that you guys are concerned about or interested in or seeing or want to see talked about in these new shows, let me know, because I don't ignore any of those questions. I think those comments and notes and questions from the fans are very, very important. You guys are, such big supporters of Fooly Cooly, and then we're only making it to make you guys happy. So I do have a Twitter account, and I'm sure Toonami Squad can.
Yeah, we will provide it probably in a lower third or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll give
But
it to you.
I'm really I check it every single day, maybe more than once a day, and then like every time I get questions or comments regarding that, I immediately relay those messages to Japan. Whether they incorporate it fully or not, I can't guarantee, but then they really appreciate getting all these feedback from you guys. So just keep it coming, and I'm not ignoring you, and if anything, I appreciate those more than anything. So
Cool.
Cool.
2 more questions. This relates to the animation. Will Fooly Cooly seasons 2 and 3 have the same art style as season 1, or will it be completely different from the original? So sounds like will it be incorporating more CGI, the more modern day CGI, technology, or will it be like the classic hand drawn 90s style like the season 1?
Yeah, we
Oh yeah,
went,
my bad. One other thing. That was from Neo, Kalahari, and Emma. Sorry guys, I forgot your names.
Actually, that's a really good question, and then we did go back and forth, deciding whether we want this to be 2D or CGI or 3D or a combination, and then we have decided, and then I can't talk about it just yet, but one hint that I can give you is whether the artistic style is the same as Fooly Cooly 1. It could be different, but we have two shows. One is Fooly Cooly 2, the other one is Fooly Cooly 3. And it's not like Fooly Cooly 2 has 12 episodes. Fooly Cooly 2 has 6 episodes. Fooly Cooly 3 has 6 episodes, just like Fooly Cooly 1 has 6 episodes. So, whether the artistic style changes from 1 to 2 to 3, maybe. I can't tell you. I can't guarantee anything. But one thing I can tell you is it's going to be very good. It's going to be a brilliant animation that nobody has ever seen before. Something that you haven't seen in 1, you will probably see in 2 and 3. So I have no doubt about the creative side of production on 2 and 3.
Cool. Sounds exciting. And to end this interview, and again, Maki, we really appreciate you coming on. It really means a lot to us. And yeah. So the final question is, this one comes from Venus Adapastic, I think that's how you say that.
I have no idea.
And Emma, when can we expect the first trailer for the revival of Fooly Cooly?
I can't talk about that yet either,
Okay.
but very soon. And then we're working very hard on it right now. And yes, I think we're gonna try to show something at an event. I don't know which event it would be, but very soon.
Is it possible that this trailer could end up in between the Toonami bumpers by any chance?
Maybe. Yeah. Let's bug Jason about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's up to him. Once we have some animation, he's gonna cut it and then into a trailer, and then where he's gonna show that at is all up to Toonami. So
Well, again, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it. I mean, it's not too often you get to interview a vice president of a production company. So
This is huge.
So we really appreciate it, taking time out of your ridiculously busy schedule. Thank you so much.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
It was my pleasure. It was so much fun, talking to you guys, and you guys are, wonderful, great supporters. And then I look forward to doing more interviews with you when Fooly Cooly is more ready, and I can talk more. Because right now I feel
Definitely.
bad because there's so little that I can talk about 2 and 3. But this is just the start, and
Right.
then people are still supportive after this interview. Hopefully no haters. But
Yeah.
yeah, but I really enjoy talking to you guys, and again, I really enjoy and appreciate if fans could talk to me through Twitter and send me any feedback or questions or anything, any concerns that you may have regarding not just about Fooly Cooly, but any of the production IG shows. Let me know, and I'll be gladly help.
Cool. Again, we on behalf of the Toonami fans, we really appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Maki.
Thank you
And-
very much.
Like you said, if you're interested in coming back, come on back. We're not going to tell you to go away.
Invite me over again. Thank you. I
Yeah.
really appreciate it. I'd be happy to.
Same, you too.
Yeah.
Thanks again. We'll talk
Alright.
soon, alright?
Okay. Bye, guys.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, well, that includes this interview of the Toonami Squad podcast sessions. We hope you enjoyed it. There's your update on Fooly Cooly seasons 2 and 3. Once again, we really appreciate Maki coming out and giving some just amazing insight into what's going on over there at Production IG. And yeah, again, we hope you enjoyed this interview, and this concludes this interview. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm eRockstar5, the host of the Toonami Squad podcast sessions.
I am JMB at JMB_70056 on Twitter. I am the founder of Toonami Squad.
I'm Sam. I'm one of the writers for Toonami Squad.
I'm Matt, aka Phantom or PhantomStar64 on Twitter. I'm one of the video editors and moderators for Toonami Squad.
I'm Silver. I'm at SilverAbsolute2 on Twitter. And I make sure that everything's all pretty on all the accounts.
And that concludes.
Thank you.
Don't mention it. And that concludes the Toonami Squad podcast sessions. Okay, bye.
Bang.
Peace. Squad out.
スパイラー受け取ったその予感は隠さなくたっていいんだ色のついた夢みたいなフリクリ